Oftentimes, as parents, we say, don't you dare talk back to me. I'm the parent, you're the child, you have to listen to me. But that leads to disconnection with your child. And the only thing the child learns is that my thoughts, my opinions are not important. But as connected parents, we can do things differently. Hello, everybody. Welcome. Welcome to Connected Parents. I'm so excited to talk to you today about dealing with backtalk. Backtalk is such an important one to me because it's such a big trigger. It's something that I've been working through. And so I wanted to share it. I've been sharing little snippets here and there. And I feel like it's time for a longer conversation. How can you deal with backtalk? How can you use it to your advantage? How can you make sure that your kid understands what's acceptable and not acceptable? So let's get into it. First of all, I want to share a story with you. The other day, I was inspired to go out to the store. So keep in mind that I've been thinking a lot lately about money and how some people make money so easily and some people struggle to make money. And it's like this hard thing. And I just wanted to learn more about just like making money easily and enjoying the process. And so I've been learning about it and experimenting and just loving the process. So the other day I was inspired to make a smoothie. And my favorite things to include in my smoothies are beetroot, almond butter, and almond milk. Don't knock it till you tried it. So I looked at my refrigerator, and of course I don't have any of those things. And I decided, okay, I'm gonna go to the store and I'm going to get me some almond butter, some almond milk, and some beetroot. But I thought to myself, the kind of almond milk and the almond butter that I want, it's usually in the higher end store because I don't want any fillers, et cetera, et cetera. And so I wanted to go to the higher end store. But I was inspired to go to the regular store that's a little bit cheaper. But I was like, nah, I'm going to the higher end store. So I went to the higher end store. And the whole time I was inspired to go to this cheaper store, but I didn't go. So I went to the higher end store. Yes, of course, they didn't have what I was looking for. And then I went to another high-end store because I was like, I'm sure they will have it. And womp womp, they still didn't have what I was looking for. And so I finally went to the cheaper store. I got to the cheaper store. They had my beetroot, the organic one, because I was like, I'm making a smoothie. I might as well invest in myself. And then I looked for the almond milk that I wanted. They didn't have it. But the almond butter was like key. If I can get the almond butter, then I don't necessarily need the milk. And so I looked and they had the kind of almond milk that almond butter that I wanted. And I was so excited. Let's get this almond butter. And I had this option to either go with the smaller version or to go with the larger size. And I wanted to go with the smaller size because I'm really the only one in my family who takes almond butter. My kids like peanut butter, and my husband doesn't care about all of that, so it's usually me. So I was like, let me go with a smaller size because it's just me. But then I was like, you know what? I've been on a smoothie kick lately. Let me get the bigger size. And I looked at the price. It's like, okay, it's about $13. That's okay. I'll use it and whatever. And so I go to the cashier to pay, and I paid, and the price seemed all right. But for some reason, I was inspired to look at my receipt. And so I looked at the receipt and I found that I was charged $14. And I was like, I don't know why I remember, but I don't think it was $14. What's going on? So I walked back into the store. I had a little bit of time just to check it out. And so, inspiration, I checked it out and I saw that it was listed at $13.99 or something like that. And I looked at my receipt again and I was billed and I was charged $14.50 or something like that. So it was a 50 cents difference. It wasn't a big deal, but somehow I was just like getting frustrated because I was just kind of like upset. Like, why would they take advantage of me and take my 50 cents? I was getting frustrated and upset. And I looked at it again because I was like, maybe I'm wrong. I looked at the labels, everything, and realized that, there's an error. So I called one of the people working at the store and I'm like, please let me know if I'm wrong, but I think it says 13.99, and I was charged 14 something. And so they looked at it and they're like, yeah, you're right. And so we go to the cashier, and thankfully the cashier that I used previously was also still available. And so I went to her, and the cashier's like, can you confirm it's the right code? Can you confirm it's the right that? Da 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 da, all of that. And so we confirmed and reconfirmed, and the code was right and everything, but there was an error in their system. And so the lady, I was just like, okay, yeah, I want my 50 cents back because, that's my money. And so the lady proceeds to give me my 50 cents back. But instead of just giving me 50 cents back, she gave me $10.50. I was like, ooh, free money. And then I was like, wait. Maybe she made an error, instead of putting $13.99, she put $3.99. I don't want any issues for this young lady, right? Like when she's trying to close out her cash, then they're like, we're missing $10. We got to take it from your paycheck and stuff like that. Because I don't believe in those kinds of like money or whatever, getting money that way. So I told her, I was like, I think you put $3.99 instead of $13.99. And so she goes through it again. And then she said, oh, this is what happened. Because it was a system error, we give you an extra $10 because that was a system error. And so it became an opportunity for them to realize that there was an error in their system so they could fix it. And it was an opportunity for me to realize that money can come to me through any way. So I walked out of there because of a 50 cents error. I walked out of there with $10. Now, what am I trying to say? I could have been upset. I could have been angry. I could have walked away and said, see, this is how life works, right? People always trying to, dupe you. People always trying to take stuff away from you. Or I could stay and try to figure out what's going on and benefit from earning more money. And so this is what I want us to think about. When our child there's back talk, when our child is having this, talking about things that we said or things that we did and they're not in agreement, we can do several things. So I took quite a few notes because I wanted to make sure that everything I'm saying is like coherent and it's helpful. So the first thing that we can do is to realize that this is an opportunity. We can reframe this thing as an opportunity in different ways. One, as an opportunity to learn about ourselves, right? If somebody says something, like if somebody says, oh, the sky is not blue, the sky is gold, or what the sky, just pick a random color. You can look up in the sky and be like, that's blue, and just be like, whatever. This person either doesn't know their colors or, whatever. Or maybe, they're colorblind and we can let it go. Or we can argue with them and say, no, it's blue. No. But most people, if you are feeling regulated, you won't argue. You'll just kind of laugh it off and just leave the person alone. But when there are situations that trigger some kind of aggravation and annoyance within us, it means there's something there that we can process. There's something there that we can learn about. So if we can reframe this back talk from our child as an opportunity to learn about ourselves, maybe within us, we've learned that a child should not talk back. Maybe as a child, we learned that it's not okay for us to talk back. Maybe we have that conflict within us, that discomfort within us. So this is an opportunity for us to learn about ourselves, right? And then we can decide, okay, now I know that. Another thing is it's an opportunity for us to learn about our children, right? We can learn about things that upset them. We can learn about what is a priority to them. We can learn about things that are important to them. So if we reframe this uncomfortable conversation as an opportunity to also learn about our children, then it can be a good one, as opposed to one where it's like super challenging. Now, we can also use that as an opportunity to connect more deeply with our kids, because now we know about what's important to them. Now we know about what bothers them. Now we know about what's a priority to them. And so we can respond to that. Okay, my child doesn't like it when I give them peas and carrots together. They only want their peas and carrots separately. Yeah, it might seem like a little thing, but it's this opportunity for them to feel in control of whatever it is that's going on. And yeah, some people might be like, you're spoiling your kid. I don't really believe so. I believe that it's an opportunity to learn about them and connect more deeply with them. And you can still hold your boundaries, and we'll talk some more about that. But this is an opportunity where you listen to what's bothering them and then you can respond. Now, the other thing that we can do is to realize that since I care about connecting more deeply with my child, so I'm going to pay attention to this. I'm going to pay attention to this opportunity. I'm going to pay attention to this and build a stronger relationship with my child. And so that way, I can be influential with my child. And when I have important things to say to them, it will be welcomed. They won't feel like, oh, mom doesn't listen to me. Dad doesn't listen to me. This grown up doesn't listen to me. So why should I listen to them? So this is an opportunity for me to build that relationship with them just so that I can still be influential in their lives. Now, during the specific incident, here's something that you can do right away, okay? Because if we take time to realize and reframe in before this happens. So when you're feeling regulated, just know that, okay, there's going to be conflict. There are going to be times that I say something and my child doesn't agree with it. So there's going to be conflict. But anytime there's a conflict, I need to reframe it as an opportunity to learn more about myself and an opportunity for my child, for me to learn more about my child. And so in the moment when this thing happens and you feel triggered and you feel excited and you feel that energy rush and you're getting ready to crush that child and you're getting ready to tell them why they're wrong and why you're right, you can take that opportunity to just breathe or do whatever it is. And there are a lot of calming tools that we can use. And if you want some more information about calming tools, leave a comment below and I'll be happy to share. But breathing, getting some more oxygen to your brain so that your brain gets out of that fight or flight or pounds. Right? Like, because oftentimes we want to fight our kids because how dare you come at me that way? So if you feel yourself getting ready, you have that energy rush, you're breathing hard, whatever it is you've observed that when you're getting upset, this is your opportunity to be like, okay, breathe. If you need to walk away, walk away. But during that specific moment, calm yourself down. And then ask yourself, why is this triggering me so much? If you can get to the root of it, it could be helpful. And it might not be something that you get to the root of it right in that moment. It might just be the beginning of the exploration in that moment. But like make a mental note to later think about it. Why does this trigger me so much? And then you might find out that maybe you have a childhood memory about it. But the main thing is to calm yourself. And I say calm yourself down, but I usually like to say calm yourself up because there are different parts of our brain that develop at different times. And oftentimes when we are really, really triggered, we could either be in that like survival part of our brain, fight, escape, beat the person that's trying to hurt us. Or we can be in the emotional part where it's like, oh, my children do not appreciate me. My children do not care about me. All the work that I've done, all the sacrifice, and then we feel sad and we feel anger and we feel all of that. Or we can get to the executive functioning brain. And so sometimes we just need to calm ourselves up to the executive functioning brain where we can process things a little bit better and respond in the kind way that we would like to respond. So those are some of the things that you can do in the moment. And then after that, you can respond to your child with kindness and just address the specific issue. Like, oh, they're upset about something. And you can ask them, what exactly, I'm noticing that you are getting frustrated here. I'm noticing that you think that I want to ruin your life. I'm noticing that you think nobody cares about you. Tell me more about that. That's one of my favorite phrases. Tell me more. Or just like, what are you thinking about this? Why do you think this? And then let them express themselves. I feel like I found that the main thing is for your child to feel like you've listened to them. Now you can still hold boundaries. You can still say, no, we're going to do this. But when they feel listened to, it's a game changer. So just listen to them. Let them know that. And then you can just like help them to process that anger. So since you've already practiced your own calming tool, you can also help them to use a calming tool that could work for them. So whether it's breathing or anything else, so that they can process their anger. Then I invite you to think about what skill your child might be missing, and that's why they responded to this issue in this way. What skill might they be missing? Think about that. Or you can bring out your journal and write it down. What skill might my child be missing? What skill can I help my child learn? And then think about the best way for you to teach your child that skill. So, in a situation, it could be that the skill is they need to learn how to speak with kindness, even though it's hard to speak with kindness when you're frustrated. Or it might be they need to learn how to process their anger. It might be that they need to know how to tie their shoes, and that's what's frustrating them. It might be that they need to know that not everything is going to work out the way you expect it to be. And that's okay. And so you look for opportunities. You think about the best way that you can teach that skill in a way that you're regulated, they're regulated, and it's not about shaming or blaming or judging. And that way, you've taught the skill, you've acted as a coach and a guide and a witness. I think those are three important things as parents to know that we are the coaches. We have a place as a coach, we have a place as a guide, and we have a place as a witness. Not everything is about teaching. So there might be opportunities there. There could be back talk and there's nothing to teach. It's just they need to express their feelings, and this is the way they can because they're dysregulated. There might be nothing to teach there because when they're not dysregulated, they're the sweetest kids in the whole wide world. Or there might be something to teach, right? So you look at it. And if there's nothing to teach there, then just take your place as a witness, knowing that life can be hard, knowing that life can be frustrating, knowing that life can be unexpected. And you're witnessing their child and giving them that opportunity to process whatever it is they're going through and to get to the other side. So I hope that helped. When your child is going through something and they're like talking back and there's all this back talk and you're feeling frustrated, there's so many things that you can do. And it's tempting to be like, oh, I'm your parent, you listen to me, you do not talk back, I know better. However, as a connected parent, I invite you to calm yourself up, realize that they're talking from a dysregulated place. It's nothing personal. They're not trying to hurt your feelings. They're not trying to disrespect you. They're just expressing something that's going on with them. And then take your place as a coach, a guide, as a witness, and help them to go through that emotion. Hope that helps. If you have any questions, leave them below, and I'll talk to you soon. Thanks so much for watching.